Just what you love, right? Departure from cars at a car show.
At least it's exotic cars.
That's true, that's true.
Ooh, car show girls. Do you want a picture?
Yes, I do. It's a Lamborghini Miura. I used to think these were so ugly when I was a kid, but I think arguably the sexiest car ever made. And I say arguably, but if you argue with me, I'll tell you you're dumb. See how the V12's turned sideways, longitudinally mounted?
Yeah.
Which that's pretty much way ahead of its time. I can only guess it was so that they didn't, compromise on the overall shape. Because you imagine if you turn this sucker that way, how much longer the rear of the car would have to be? Can you imagine it?
Couldn't fit in a parking space.
I mean, the colors of the interiors, the way the instruments are laid out and stuff.
The green is very vibrant.
They say they have 4 carburetors.
What is this?
Don't talk, honey. I'll get to it. That's called an expansion tank. They have them on a lot of European stuff and even newer cars because of the way the radiator has to sit.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's part of that.
Now, is
and
that
the heat
so
and
hard?
stuff like that. No, what? These are actually classified as just 4 carburetors, but look, I mean, there's 12 different single barrel carbs essentially feeding that thing. And then see how the valve cover's split? Like on a normal engine, you don't have the intake manifold in between the camshafts. That's just crazy.
Because it's normally on the outside and those are pushed together.
Yeah, exactly. The intake would be in the middle of these 2 banks. But on this car, the intake's in between the camshafts on the cylinder head itself. It's just genius. But you imagine building stuff like this instead of just the hot rods, Or getting that European flair.
But they do a good job originally. Like, what would you do to make it?
Well, I wouldn't mess with this car. Just take the influence from it. I mean, this is one of the few cars I wouldn't mess with. A Camaro or something, I don't feel guilty. They made over 100,000 of them each year, you know what I mean? This, I think there's definitely less than 1,000. I think they made 700 or something of them. But it's $1 million car,
Yeah.
Think about that. See, Bugattis are a big deal, but I think this is a purse thing. See, like the blue tint for the carbon fiber? And then it's got the exposed aluminum, just polished. That's sick, man. I wish these were never in a freaking rap song so I could still like them. It's all, I got a Bugatti, man,
Oh, look, it's blue.
Yeah, right. You didn't hear me? I just told you that. Yeah, well, anyway. I'll be less sick of them when I buy one. After
Yeah, then you can rap about it.
Yep. Damn it, that's cool. I mean, it's beat up, but it's just badass to think they get out on the track and really tear it up.
I like that they use the pins that we use to hook the wagons to tractors on the farm.
That's probably a little different. You were wrong. Hang on, this guy's taking a picture.
Okay. What's a Bizzarini?
I'm not a Bizzarini. I mean, I know the name. I just don't know this car. Long story short, Bizzarini used to work for Ferrari. Then you got a group of guys together. They left to go start their own company, had some success, there were some death threats. Long story short, he ended up, in the end, going bankrupt. So.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah, it's kind of bad juju. This is a Ferrari that'll stand out in a sea of exotics.
The engine's in the front, though.
Yes, that's okay. They're brutish. They're like sledgehammers with the engine up front like that. That's a departure for Ferrari, obviously, because they're always, known for putting the engine in the back. Actually, it's in the middle of the car. Technically, it's mid-engine. There is a difference, but yes, this is a touring car. It's like their mindset of what you would go out on the highway with and do a road trip in.
It is beautiful.
They're just sick. Look at all this abstract, lines, like how the roof line, the sail panel actually just floats out. You can put your hand between here and there, and the glass just floats over. So that's very much like the back of like a C6 Corvette,
Yeah.
And then they have this spar just floating out here. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
And I match perfectly. Ooh, Batman car.
Not every black Murcielago is Batman's car. I love your enthusiasm, though. Baby, seriously, thank you for coming today. I appreciate it.
Well, you only get one day off.
That's true, and I'm motivated. Let's go back. I've got some great ideas.
For dinner.
For a motorcycle.
No.
That I'm gonna draw.
Dinner.
We'll go to dinner. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's it. Seriously. We'll play video games tonight. You love that.
Zombies?
Yeah,